Hi, I'm Ben.
And I'm Matt.
And this is GameChat with Ben and Matt.
Welcome to episode 4 of GameChat with Ben and Matt. Sorry for the missed last week's episode. Don't know what happened there.
Yeah, schedules didn't quite line up.
The stars were unaligned.
Not aligned.
They were not aligned properly. It's been a long 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of video games. At least for me. I don't know what you played.
I've played a couple things. What'd you play? What'd you play over these 2 weeks?
Let's see. I played BioShock Infinite again.
Yeah.
Damn good.
Mm.
That was my second choice for Game of the Year. Behind The Last of Us. I played through The Last of Us again.
Nice.
That was an adventure once again.
How was it the next time going through?
About that. It was.
Did they have the same impact?
I think the ending hit me differently.
Yeah.
And we'll talk about that.
Yeah, we're
gonna do a special Last of Us segment since we both played through The Last of Us over winter break. I've played through it twice, and we're going to talk about what we think of it from a story standpoint and what we think of everything that happened. But the ending hit me differently.
Yeah.
That's all I'll say now.
Yeah.
Because the first playthrough I was like all excited and happy, and then the second playthrough it hit me.
Yeah.
Punched me right in the gut. But that game hits you just as hard second time through.
Does it? I was wondering.
Emotionally.
Yeah.
And then I spent a lot more time going through it, finding the all the little notes and reading the journals and listening to the audio logs. I found a large majority of the Firefly pendants.
Yeah, that's the one thing I regretted not doing was I wanted to go back and find all those like voice cues, like the dialogue cues and stuff.
Well, because in The Last of Us, like you look for those. Like a lot of games, you just kind of skip over them. Like the first time I played BioShock when it first came out, I actually played it in June, so that would have came out in March, I believe. I want to say March. Yeah, March. So I played it in June, and I just kind of rushed through it and didn't find any of the voxophones or nothing. In my second playthrough, I missed one voxophone, so I was pissed off at myself. So because it said, like, when I found the last one in the game, it was like however many there were, and then I had one less. I was like, damn it, I'm gonna have to play through this game again. Which, don't get me wrong, I'm not disappointed with having to play through BioShock Infinite again. It's not a chore or anything. It's definitely a game that I want to play through again.
Yeah. I played through, not through it, but I have played more of Assassin's Creed 4. And what I find myself doing when I play that game is it's less of me trying to get through the story, like it has been, and it's just me, like, exploring the world. And trying to, like... Because what I would always do was I would play through, like, part of... I would just, like, rush through the story, and then at the end of the game I would have all these cool upgrades that I would never get to use in the story. So now I've started off where I'm just trying to get everything for my character so that it's just like a total beast throughout the rest of the story. Like there's that armor where it's like bulletproof. That like
I want to get
that outfit, yeah. And now when you have to do all like the Mayan puzzles, which aren't bad, it's just there's a whole lot of sailing involved, which is something that like sailing's fun, but the charm of it wears off very quickly. Like because there's so many places where it's like, oh well, here's a 20-minute sailing across the map, which is annoying.
But at least as you progress and as you find locations, you can fast travel. So it's like in Arkham Origins when there was that big ass bridge across the map, and you could unlock the radio towers, which gave you quick travel points from you would parachute out of the Batwing, or
that's cool.
Obviously you don't have a parachute, but you jump out of the Batwing and you glide down, and then you can land wherever you decide to go, which I thought that was pretty cool.
That is cool.
Yeah. Although the animation was very recycled. Yeah. So if you did it a lot, you saw the same thing over again. Like if you enter and exit the Batcave, you see him jump in and out of the Batwing the same every time. Oh, that's cool. So.
Yeah, I guess I could get like repetitive though.
Yeah.
And then GTA Online, I was wondering, which I'm typing in now, when are heists coming? Does anyone know?
Or leave a comment below if you have any idea. If you work with Rockstar and you want to leak some news here.
Yeah. I just, like, it's one of those things that would... Because I kind of fell out of playing GTA Online. But that would definitely bring me back in if they finally had heists. Because that was, like, the thing I was the most excited for. Me and pretty much everyone else.
Yeah,
most
me
excited
too,
for the online. was to be able to have heists with your friends and have people set up heists. And it was just such a cool idea, but the game's been out for what? How long has that game been out? Like,
came out in October. No, September 17th.
Yeah, so it's like just under 6 months.
I don't know why I said October. Did anything good come out in October? Is there like a big game that I missed in October? Because I didn't remember buying anything in October.
Except for Grand Theft Auto 5. That was
September.
Oh, October? Sorry, I was thinking September.
September was Grand Theft Auto's month.
That's all I was looking forward to the whole month.
Well, that's all
everyone was. That was a ridiculous launch. Fun times, too. I just remember having to install it, because I have an Xbox. Having to install a second disc. Oh, is that on?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. That's an ad. But I remember having to install the second disc, and that was just the longest waiting time. Because it was just that like loading screen with the pictures, and I just remember being like just so ready to play.
Yeah, I had to do. Well, you had to do the same thing on. You had to do the same thing on PlayStation, but it was one disc, but you still had to do the same thing. Oh, October was Assassin's Creed 4 and Battlefield 4.
Oh, very nice.
And Skylar Swap Force.
Swap Force.
As well as Pokemon.
I had a fun time with Swap Force.
Did you?
Yeah. Played it when my cousin came over, my little cousin. He had like all sorts of Skylanders. Cool idea. Putting toys in the games.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I mean, they did it with the Disney Infinity.
Yeah, Disney sort of ripped that off, but it's Disney. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah, better.
I was thinking about it the other day, and in 2015, there's going to be the Avengers 2, and...
I thought Avengers 2... Oh, that is right. That's right. Because the Batman movie was 2015.
Yeah, it got pushed to 2016, like spring 2016. Which, and still, even now, like all the movies that are slated for 2015, half of them are going to be pushed back. You know that.
Yeah.
And...
More than likely.
Oh, yeah. But Disney owns both Star Wars and
the
Marvel. So, there's a phone.
I gotta take this one,
right.
so you keep what.
Yeah, I'll keep going. Oh, you're right there. Alright, but Disney, they're gonna have just a ridiculous year in terms of profit in 2015 because they own both the Star Wars property and Marvel, which are like the two biggest films that are coming out that year, especially now where they don't have to compete with Batman versus Superman or whatever they're gonna decide to call that movie. So it's one of those things where it makes you wonder what Disney will do after that. Which I guess it's obvious that they're going to continue on with the series, but it will be a crazy year. And then, also 2016, the Avatar sequels, which James Cameron's filming now. That's, I guess, Avatar 2 is coming out then. Which that'll also... I don't think that'll make as much money as the first, but I think it definitely will bring in quite a bit of money. And I would bring up more video games topics right now, but Matt's not here, and there's some stuff I want to talk to him about. So I'll just keep going with movies. What else is happening in the movie world? The Oscar nominations were announced, which, Leonardo DiCaprio got nominated for Best Actor. Let's hope he wins. It's long overdue. And I think he'll win for the same reason that Martin Scorsese won in 2006 for Best Director, because it's one of those things where it was so long overdue for Scorsese with, Goodfellas and Casino and even Aviator, which is one of my favorite films, that, it was almost, you could tell they were like, oh, well, we got to give it to him now because we've snubbed him so many years in a row, which that's what's happening with Leo this year especially. And Jonah Hill got nominated for Best Supporting Actor for the second time, which, surprising to many, I think he's a great up-and-coming actor. And it's really cool because he's coming up from, his roots as, Superbad and Accepted, where it's, no one would expect that guy to be nominated for an Academy Award. Sorry, Matt, you were gone, so I talked about movies.
No, I got it.
That's my go-to.
I kind of overheard you. Hopefully you guys didn't overhear my phone conversation with my mother.
I didn't hear anything, so I don't think they did.
Yeah.
But I waited for the video game news before you so that when you came back. Which, one thing I did want to talk about...
Go for it. Jump right
is Tomb Raider, the definitive edition, if I should get it. Because
Because you haven't played it yet.
I haven't.
So it's not like you're buying it when you already own it. So it's a new experience for you.
And like, so I'm wondering. I'm looking at what's coming with the definitive edition.
You get all. It's just multiplayer DLC.
That's what I thought.
There is no single player DLC, which kind of.
That's like, if it was single player DLC, absolutely. But the fact that it's not is what's worrying me, because I'm not a big, like, especially with a game like this, I really don't think I would play.
I don't play multiplayer much in general anymore, except on GTA Online, and then I'll play Minecraft with other people. But.
Yeah, like, because there's certain games where to play multiplayer, it's a lot of fun to play with friends, but like the only people who I really get in touch with still to play, like, there's my Indiana friends obviously, but then like it's you, but we're on different systems. Yeah,
until you get a PS4.
Yeah, or you get an Xbox One.
Whichever one.
Who's gonna hold out the longest? No, I'm kidding.
Probably me.
Yeah, I wanted to wait until there was a bundle with the Vita, but that doesn't look like it's going to be happening for a while. And the Vita's not all that expensive. You can get it for like $190, so pretty good price.
Probably get them on eBay for cheaper if you're
not
worried about getting a pre-owned one or not.
Yeah, I'm not.
I bought mine pre-owned, so.
Mm-hmm. But there's also so many other things like I'm looking to spend money on that I gotta prioritize what I want to get first. You know, like, do I want to get the PS4, the Vita, a new iPad, or like there's a
you gotta get the new iPad.
Yeah, because I'm gonna sell you my old iPad, but there's also like there's things for this room that we're in. Well, not this room, but
you guys will see it when we do the Last of Us video. When we talk about the Last of Us, we're gonna go ahead and do our first video iteration of our
kind of GameChat, not just our YouTube channel, really. Yeah. But
which it'll grow slowly.
But I also gotta pitch in money for the couch in this room over here.
Yeah. So. And then we gotta buy better mics and all that nonsense.
I feel like an old man. Like, I gotta buy a couch instead of a game system. But a couch would be totally worth it.
Oh, yeah.
And a nice coffee table.
I gotta buy a futon for my room.
Yeah. Futon would be... I do like futons. Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people give futons. They get a lot of unnecessary.
You have to buy a good futon for it to be comfortable.
I used to have a really nice.
Because if you buy one of those crappy futons from Walmart with like the metal, and then the mattress is like an inch thick, you're basically sleeping on metal bars.
Yeah, those are the prison beds that you see in the movies, where it's like the tiny little mattress. Prison. That would suck to go to prison.
Oh, prison.
We're not gonna get into that topic, but yeah, prison would suck. Oh, is that me again? Gosh.
Yeah, man.
All of these... I'm just
click the mute button.
Sorry. All of these websites I'm going to, because I'm on my computer as we're doing this, getting news and stuff, because I want it to be breaking news. Only the quickest.
You heard it first here.
No, we say stuff that's like 6 months old.
Yeah. Oh, we skipped over... I played through a lot of games in the past 2 weeks.
Right, sorry, you left.
Bioshock and Last of Us. I played through Uncharted Golden Abyss on Vita.
How was that?
I liked it. It's Nathan Drake on Vita. That's all you have to say. Nolan North once again.
With the what's it called? The Vita TV. They were talking about that could be a way to play Golden Abyss on your.
Yeah, because you can play all your Vita games on TV. Yeah. Because you can. It's basically a Vita.
Can you use like the DualShock 3?
That's what it's built for. You hook the DualShock 3 connects wirelessly through the Bluetooth.
I don't like the DualShock 3, but whatever.
And it was hard when I played the PS4 so much over winter break when I was gone, because I didn't have my PS3, so I didn't have an option. I came back and I haven't really played my PS4 at all, to be honest. But
I haven't played my Xbox One since I think the last episode that we recorded this.
Yeah,
which was a while.
That's when I played my PS4. But the PS3 controller just feels so different because I got used to the PS4 controller. The DualShock 3 feels.
Yeah.
Kind of bad. I mean, I don't want to say terrible because I mean it's still my baby. I still love my DualShock, but
it's really light. I like that factor of it. It's a very light and slender,
small.
Yeah, but one of the big thing, like, I haven't played my Xbox One, but by no means does that mean I'm not having a good time when I do play it. It's just there's not all that much selection.
That's why I haven't played it, because I don't have much to do. I played through Killzone. I've played Madden a couple times. I've almost played through Ghosts again because I did the upgrade. Yeah. And then Black Flag, I had to start over on PS4, so I haven't touched it on PS4 because I already got so far on PS3. I'm like, this isn't worth it. I'm just going to finish it on PS3. Because all it is graphics upgrades.
Yeah.
But there was... What were you going to say?
Oh, no, go ahead. I was just saying, like, I wouldn't want to, like, start over.
Well, I wish the saves transferred, like your multiplayer data does.
I guess you're right. They could just...
Well, not on Assassin's Creed, but on
save
Call of
that
Duty.
on your profile, yeah.
Because, like, Ghosts, like, when I put in Ghosts on my PS4, I was level... I barely play. I have, like, 2 hours played. I'm, like, level 10.
Yeah.
And when I popped it in my PS4, it was like, you were level 10. I was like, cool.
But I do think that's a great idea that they do that cross sort of platform.
Well, because, like, that works on PS3 and Vita because, like, I've been playing Guacamelee a lot. And, like... So I'll be playing it on my PS3 at night, and then when I go to class during the day, I'll upload my save to the cloud, download it onto my Vita before I leave, so then I can just keep going and then put that save back up into the cloud, download it back on my PS3, and seamlessly. Which it's really nice that works. But, like, there's been rumors from Ubisoft that there's going to be 2 Assassin's Creed games next year.
Oh, really?
One on PS3 and Xbox 360, and then one on PS4 and Xbox One.
That actually makes sense, yeah.
Interesting, but if it hinders the quality of these games...
That's true, yeah, because they're going to be divided.
Because they've been doing them annually. They've been doing them... Because they weren't annually originally, because there was a gap between... Assassin's Creed 1 was 2009, right? No,
2008.
8?
Well, no, I think it was 2007. Because Assassin's Creed 2007, I had just moved to Brownsburg, Indiana. So I think, you can look it up. Why are we just... And I know Assassin's Creed...
in the dark.
Yeah, I know Assassin's Creed 2 was 2009. Because that was the most incredible step up. That was, like, Arkham Asylum to Arkham City.
Arkham Asylum was really good, so you can't say that.
Yeah, but well, I mean, I loved...
So was Assassin's Creed 1. Assassin's Creed 1 was good.
And one thing I liked about Assassin's...
2007 was Assassin's Creed 1.
One thing that I really liked about Assassin's Creed 1 that I've noticed they've totally shifted away from was that Assassin's Creed 1, while, you could stand there and fight off, like, the guards, it was always, like, it was always pushing you to, like, just run and hide. Which, to me, was always kind of a cool thing, because it really pushed that, like... That was, like, the first game where it was like, oh, look at these, like, free-running mechanics, and look how you can climb everything, and you can dive into these...
you can climb even more things now.
Yeah, and, like, the whole thing about that was, like, running and hiding and getting away, which was always fun to me, which I still like to do sometimes, but now it's just way too easy to run away. And it's, like, a lot of times it'll just be time-consuming, so it's like, you know what, I'm just gonna stay and fight, so... And the fighting's... I mean, I love the fighting in Assassin's Creed. I think... more sword fighting games should use that sort of technique, because I was playing on PS2 Lord of the Rings Return of the King. Great game. And those fighting mechanics were just like button mashing, so I was like, man, if they did like an HD remake of that or something, which I know they wouldn't, but if they did,
port it on a PS4.
Well, like, the thing I loved about those games was that, looking back, that was when movie games, like, the movie...
They didn't completely suck.
Yeah, like, because that game was awesome. I love that. It's ridiculously hard, because there's, like, hardly any checkpoints. I'm actually going to have you help me out beating the King of the Dead, which is the second level. And I
love the game and you're starting on the same level.
Yeah, well, no, but because, like, there's 3 different paths. There's, like, the Gandalf path, the Hobbit path, with, like, beating all of those.
Okay.
And I'm stuck on the Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli path. And I've gotten really into Lord of the Rings lately. Like, I just got on... when you get on a kick with something where it's... I'm so into Batman right now.
I've been doing that with Jericho.
Yeah.
That TV show.
Oh, I've actually wanted to watch it. How is it?
It's really good.
Very good?
Definitely should watch it, guys.
It's on Netflix, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
It just kind of ended, though.
Yeah.
It was weird.
That's the one thing that's, like, sort of...
They just kind of stopped it.
Yeah, it's sort of, like keeping me away from that. It's just because... Like, there's certain shows that I won't watch just because I know that it never got, like, an ending, Like, it got canceled. So I'm like, do I really want to watch that and be unsatisfied? But then I always turn myself around and say, like, like, I'm going to be in that group with everyone else. So...
Well, it's like 24... Well, 24 didn't get canceled, but they need to give that... They need to properly end that series, which I'm really excited for. Die Another Day?
Something like that.
Live Another Day? I don't know. Something like that. Comes back sometime this year. I'm really excited for that.
Yeah, did you ever see the show Chuck?
Yeah, I've seen about half of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been, like, I'm almost done with it, but that's another show that I know a lot of people weren't happy with the ending because it didn't have that sense of closure that you need for a show.
Like, The Office ended really well.
Yeah, I loved it. And Breaking Bad had one of the best endings. Did you ever watch Breaking Bad?
No,
That had one of the...
I am on season 3, and I just kind of stopped.
That's what happened to me with Lost. And I know Lost didn't have a good ending, but I stopped.
From what I've heard, I haven't watched Lost at all. Which I need to, but...
Lost is great. First season will just, like, get you in. But... For me, there's a lot of shows like that where I'll get, like, a couple seasons through and just stop and then come back every once in a while. Like, The Sopranos, I just come back to The Sopranos, like, once a week and watch an episode. I'm like, oh, that's great. Which is a great show, but there's just... Right now, it's weird because I'm hopping around so much. Like, I remember when I watched Scrubs on Netflix. I marathoned all of Scrubs, took it out in, like, a month.
That's what I did with Always Sunny in Philadelphia. I took that out in winter break 3 weeks.
Yeah. So, there's certain shows that I can... Like, I'll really get into like that, but... Right now, and I think it's just because those 20-minute shows are perfect, like, to marathon. Like, Parks and Rec, awesome show to marathon. The League, awesome. But then you get to, like, these really cinematic shows like The Sopranos or like Band of Brothers, where those are a little bit tougher to marathon because, 3 episodes is 3 hours.
Well, yeah, that's what I did with Psych.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I love Psych.
Yeah.
Psych is such a great show. So funny.
And I was up in my room for like 8 hours watching Psych.
That is another show that I remember marathoning like 3 seasons in a day or two. It was ridiculous. Yeah. That's what I love. I was reading an article in Entertainment Weekly, and maybe I'll link it on Twitter, but I'll probably forget. But it was really interesting. It was talking about the reason why there were so many TV deaths this year, and I'm not going to spoil it because they do spoil some TV deaths, so read at your own risk. But it was talking about how cable television was trying to compete with these binging services like Netflix and like Hulu Plus, because they need to have these things where people want to watch it live so that it doesn't get spoiled for them, especially in the age of Twitter that we have now, where everything is spoiled. Like, if your favorite show premieres that night and you missed it, don't go on Twitter.
Oh, Walking Dead, especially. Yeah, I went on before. I missed the episode. You haven't seen it either, have you?
No. I'm waiting for it.
I can't really say anything, but one of a big person died, and I was on Twitter and said R.I.P.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
And it's the worst one that's like
so
trending.
bad.
When that's trending, it's like hashtag R.I.P. major character name. It's like, come on. But, yeah, I stopped watching The Walking Dead because that was another show where I enjoyed it more when I was binge-watching it. So I'm waiting for it to go back on Netflix. Because the season 1 of that show was incredible.
That's all good.
Yeah, it's a great show.
Mid-season finale was killer. I'm excited for February 9th at 9 p.m.
Oh, yeah? February 9th. Sherlock Season 3, that aired. Oh, I've got to watch it. I got to find out what happened. If anyone is Sherlocked out there, it's such a great show. Matt, you seen that show? Gotta watch it. It's on Netflix.
I've seen it on Netflix, but I haven't watched it yet. Like, I'll look and I'll be like, oh, what to watch on Netflix? And I grab a drink.
Yeah, it's right there.
I've been like, what to watch on Netflix? And
you can have that Yoo-hoo if you want.
I ended up in Jericho. I'm gonna have an orange soda.
Alright. We still have soda in there?
Yeah.
Alright. No, I'm
right. Oh, you have soda.
Yeah, I do. Been trying to give it up, but not working.
This
is the first one I've had, so I'm proud of myself. I've gone, how many days? 17 days.
Oh, that's right. That was your resolution.
Yeah.
I'm going to drink less soda.
Yeah, I mean, I did technically. I'm drinking less soda, which is just.
Wow, that was an audio spike right there.
Soda. It was one of those things where everyone has their New Year's resolution. Like, I'm going to lose weight.
I didn't have one. I told my mom I was going to play 4 hours of video games.
Nice. Yeah, I really don't. There's no point in making one anymore. It's just I threw that out there. I was like, less soda. And I was like, all right, not bad.
Whatever.
Yeah, I like water. I love water. Some people, my sister, hates water. Can't stand it.
Sound at your rap.
Yeah, and the reason why we buy so much Propel is because in the summer months she won't drink water and she'll pass out because it's so freaking hot here. So the only thing we can buy that she'll drink is Propel that has a good amount of water in it. So
that's insane.
She's a mess.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just, and I didn't realize that until my mom was talking about it, and she was like, "Yeah, we buy so much Propel because Kelsey will pass out if she doesn't drink water." Because down here, you have to always be hydrated. You have, they always push it here. Which is one of the weird things moving here from Indiana, because where it was cold.
We're in Florida, by the way, in case you didn't already know that.
Gainesville, home of the University of Florida. But they push water so much here. Reasonably so. But, every time it's, game day, when you go, downtown Gainesville on game day, people are just handing out waters, stay hydrated. Because you see people passed out all the time. Most of them are drunk, but,
Well, you're not supposed to have alcohol, but especially when the FSU comes into town.
Yeah. I do love Gainesville on game days. Going downtown Gainesville when it's packed. It's so fun.
We need a B-dubs here.
We do need a B-dubs here. We've been thinking about opening a B-dubs here, which is kind of a stretch, but...
Yeah, I don't know if it'll happen, but that'd be nice
awesome
to raise money and franchise one.
That's right. I'm trying to convince some investors.
Get a Kickstarter going.
Yeah. But why do I care if these kids have a B-dubs?
Bring B-dubs to G-ville.
Yeah.
Hashtag 2013, 2014.
Yeah. B-dubs is so good, though. It's one of those places that's... Because a lot of places that turn into chains, it's now it's decreased in quality. But it's one of those weird things where to me, that's my favorite place to get wings. Especially since we don't have any, established wing places.
Oh, well, all we have here is Wingstop, and then the Wing Zone, which tastes like dog food.
Yeah.
You buy those boneless wings, those little chunks of...
Yeah. And then there's Wing House, which is...
Where's Wing House?
It's like that. It's kind of like Hooters.
Yeah, that's the one that tastes like dog food.
Oh, you said Wing Zone.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah,
Wing
it's the Wing
House.
House. It's literally like those chicken poppers that you buy in the microwave.
They're not even good.
Oh, it's so bad. So, and then there's places, you go to places like New York, and they have these famous wing places. In San Francisco, they have all sorts
We had good ones in Texas.
Yeah, we had B-dubs in Brownsburg, but we were like, oh my god, wings! Because I replaced the Pizza Hut with the train. I missed that. No, it was Pizza King. Yeah, had a train that would bring you your drinks.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's pretty cool.
You would press the button, you'd sit down in a booth, and it had a TV and a Nintendo 64, and you got to play Nintendo 64, which was awesome. And then you'd press the button when you were ready to order, and you'd order via an intercom, and a train would bring you your stuff.
That's cool.
It was the greatest. And they shut it down. It was so sad. I remember getting trapped in there when there was a big storm, and something had shattered the entire front glass. It was ridiculous. And we were all standing there. It was me and my family was visiting, and we were standing there waiting because we can't go out in the car right now. They're not letting anyone out. And then all of a sudden it just went, something happened. I don't know, I wasn't watching, but I just hear this whole thing just shatter. And we turn around and the entire front of this place is shattered. It was ridiculous. Yeah. Weather in Indiana was
weather everywhere.
Yeah, weather is just
Texas
a weird
is so sporadic. It'd be. I remember one day we went to Six Flags. It was 110 degrees outside, and they're handing out waters. They've got the fans with the misters on. It's so hot outside. We didn't care. We were like, it's a Wednesday. Park's dead because it's 110 degrees outside and it's a Wednesday. We rode every ride in the park 3 times. Yeah. That was a blast. And then you get to winter and it's 10 degrees with snow.
Yeah.
Everybody panics, but it happens every year. But everybody panics, and we miss 3 or 4 days of school. Where here, there's no days off of school for weather unless there's a Hurricane Andrew comes through.
Yeah, it's not very often.
Not in Gainesville, too far inland.
Yeah. What was I gonna say? Something about weather. I don't remember now. We're talking about weather. That's alright though. We talk about what we want on here.
Well, it turns out Assassin's Creed has technically been annualized. There has been an Assassin's Creed release every year since 2007.
Oh yeah, I guess because they did have mobile releases.
There was Assassin's Creed, and then Altair's Chronicles on DS and iOS.
Bloodlines?
Bloodlines was on PSP, yeah.
See, because I remember, I always thought this was how the trend was going to work, because it was Altair, and he got 2 games.
Yeah, because he got the 2 mobile games.
Yeah, and then it was Ezio, and he got 2 games. So then in Assassin's Creed...
Discovery or something?
Yeah, well, he also got the Brotherhood and Revelations, which are Ezio games. And then I thought Connor, because they go the numbered games introduce a character, and then they have 2 spin-offs. That's what I always thought that was kind of a cool thing, like Connor, and then you get 2 Connor stories.
I like Connor, so I would have been fine with that.
But. Yeah. And then, what's Assassin's Creed 4? Hatham? No, that's his dad.
Huh?
What's Assassin's Creed 4's name?
Edward
Kenway. His, and then like
I wouldn't mind more Edward.
Yeah, I like Edward. He's cool. I like that he's not quite like the stand-up guy. Ezio is still my favorite. He'll always be my favorite, just because he was so charismatic and his character. That was the character that you really like. You spent the most time with.
You blow out the candle. the beginning of that. What game was that? Brotherhood.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah. But Ezio was funny. You got to see him in all stages of his life, and it was one of those characters that it's hard to live up to, which is why maybe I don't like Connor all that much.
Voice acting's always been good because one of my favorite voice actors, my favorite voice actor other than Troy Baker, Nolan North was Desmond. So everybody knows Nolan North.
Yeah,
Nathan Drake.
Nolan North was in. No, wait, was it Troy Baker? Troy Baker or Nolan North? I don't remember who it was, but it was in. He had a thing in Entertainment Weekly because they just added, because they do the best and worst of 2013 or best and worst of the year. That's the issue I got, which is why I'm mentioning it so much because I just read it. But they added a new section in its video games because now that's starting to.
Oh yeah, it's such a big medium now.
And they were interviewing.
That's why we're talking about it right now.
Yeah, they're interviewing.
Do you have the magazine?
Yeah, I'm gonna go grab it. All right, back. You talk. About Troy Baker.
Troy Baker's phenomenal. He had a big year this year. The Last of Us, BioShock Infinite. What other? Oh, the Joker in Arkham Origins. But the video game industry. That's why we're sitting here talking about it. It's got to be a big deal if we're sitting here talking about it. But the media has just grown so much. It's awesome, especially as I looked in the future. It's really exciting.
Okay, I gotta find this article. Because, see, this is the binge watching. It was by that binge watching compared to speed plotting is what they call it.
Speed plotting?
Yeah, because they do these dramatic things so that they don't get spoiled, which is sort of to, stop you from wanting to just wait till it's on Netflix or something. Melissa Mayers, Maerz. Great article.
That's Stephen Colbert.
It is. He danced to Daft Punk, he said. I gotta find this now.
No table of contents?
Yeah, but
Ooh, Amy Adams. She's a babe.
She's gorgeous.
She's gorgeous. Man of Steel. American Hustle. I still need to see American Hustle.
You know how on Internet Movie Database they have the scores? Yeah. If you go and look at the last episode of Breaking Bad, I think it's at a 9.9. It's ridiculous.
Breaking Bad as a whole has a 9, right?
Yeah, but that last I've never seen something have 50,000 votes with a 9.9. I gave it a 10. I loved that ending. And the thing I like about Breaking Bad was that they ended it when it needed to be ended.
Yeah, it's really annoying when they overdo a TV show.
Yeah, when they just drag it out there it is. Who was Troy Baker?
Yeah, it's Troy.
Good looking dude. I've never seen Troy Baker, but he's a good looking dude. But yeah, so many shows. I mean, even The Office sort of did that, and I love The Office. I would take all of The Office, but there's certain things where it's okay, that's still going. Can you believe The Office ended this year?
No, it didn't.
This past year?
No, it didn't.
Yeah, it did.
No.
Yeah, they said it in here. It said this was the year that The Office
2012, right?
ended. No, I think it was this year.
Really?
I think it was this year.
Last year?
I'm gonna find it. Well, yeah, last year. That's what I meant. 2013. I'm pretty sure. I might have read that wrong, but
here, I got you. Don't lose that article.
Yeah, I got my finger on it. Don't you worry.
Yeah, it was.
See, isn't that crazy?
The beginning of this year. That's probably why, because I watched it all on Netflix over the summer.
Yeah, which I like watching. There's certain shows that I'm and I sort of feel bad because I want to give it the viewership on TV. There's a thing I'll do sometimes where I'll turn on the TV just so that it gets the watch, but I won't watch. It's a weird thing, but so it gets the view, Because there's so many shows, I think they should really take into account how many people are watching it on Netflix before they make the decision to cancel a show or renew a show, Because so many shows get canceled, and then Blue Mountain State, that show got canceled, and that's got a huge following on Netflix. Thanks, because of Netflix. That's why I watched it, because of Netflix. So if they took that into account, they would really realize that they're, how many people are actually watching it. And then see they had, the best games of 2013. BioShock Infinite got number 1.
Did it?
The Last of Us got number 2.
Wow. Well, that would have been my order.
Mm-hmm.
It wouldn't have been, actually. The Last of Us, obviously. Everybody knows that's my game of the year. I love The Last of Us.
Last of Us was great, yeah.
I love The Last of Us almost as much as life itself.
They had tied for number 9, which kind of tied.
Does that say Blood Dragon?
Yeah.
Wow.
Assassin's Creed 4 and Far Cry 3 Blood Dragon, which I think Blood Dragon is a model that other games need to take for DLC, where
just a completely new thing. It's its own game. It's 15 bucks.
Because as much as I love having like tie-ins and stories and stuff,
I'm excited for Mr. Freeze DLC for Arkham Origins.
There's so many like DLCs where like the multiplayer only DLCs where it's like just maps. I'm like, I don't care about new maps. You know, I want something more in the story. Or like, well, I guess depending on the game. But what was it that was BioShock Infinite? What is that DLC? There's like, isn't it they go back to Rapture?
Yeah, the Burial at Sea. There's 2 parts. Each part's an hour and a half. See, whatever, it's $15 an episode, or you just buy the season pass, which is $20.
Yeah. Oh, okay, yeah. But like, that just it was a weird. I remember seeing the Burial at Sea thing and thinking like, why are they going back to Rapture?
That excited me. Because in the main game, towards the end, you see Rapture as the game's kind of... Yeah. I'm not going to ruin anything, because you haven't played through it yet, but kind of brings the game together, and the ending, the whole game makes sense. But it's such a good game. But.
Well, just to me, it was one of those things where... Do you remember that first, like, sort of teaser trailer for BioShock Infinite where it starts off in like the fish tank and you think it's in Rapture?
Yeah, and you see the Big Daddy in there.
That was an awesome trailer. I watched that again the other day and I was like, man, this was a great teaser. Like that's what teasers should be. Just give you a little hint.
Well, especially if it's a series that has nostalgia like BioShock does.
Yeah.
Because there are some big hardcore BioShock fans out there.
But like to me, Returning to Rapture was kind of taking a step back only because of the fact that they made such a big leap going to Infinite.
Yeah, Columbia's nuts.
Columbia, but like that's what I meant. Going to Columbia and taking it, and I think it's great that they took it completely opposite. They were like, first we were under the sea, you know what? Now we're in the sky, and I think
we're floating.
Yeah, so I think that since they had made that leap, and at first everyone was like, wait, it's not in Rapture, but then they won over everyone with.
Oh yeah, when you start out, everybody, if you don't know this, you're on your own, too bad. But when you first start, you get in the thing, and it launches you up. And right when you see you go through the clouds, and the light opens up, and you just see the city. It's just so beautiful.
Yeah. But it was one of those things where I feel like if you've already established the fact that we're not in Rapture anymore, but it also is always good to see them reflect on what they have done. You know, because...
It's nice when they have, like, little tidbits of previous...
Because, like, Rockstar, what they did was they were like, no, we're not going to reference any of the characters from the old game, except for, like, Nico. But they were like, here's our standard definition, like, time. That's all but in the past, so that you're not going to see any characters from, like, San Andreas or anything.
There's small references.
Which I was glad that there was... Like, a lot of people... I remember when Grand Theft Auto 5, like, it was just a picture with the V, with, like, the green, so it's like the the Grove Street gang or whatever, and everyone was like, "Oh, we get to play as CJ again," which I never understood why you would want to play as CJ, because at this point he would be, you know, it takes place like because at the end of San Andreas he was still in like his 20s or whatever, but that took place in the 90s, and now assuming
Michael's 40.
Yeah, but now I guess you're right, but it was just one of those things where
he's in his 40s.
Yeah, and to me the thing about Rockstar games, I like having a new character, a whole new story. Oh, yeah. You know, that's what a Grand Theft Auto game is to me. It's not just...
Especially when you had 3 characters in Grand Theft Auto 5. That was nice.
That wasn't awesome.
Being able to switch between them.
And then... What was I going to say? I don't know. Anyway. Yeah, Troy Baker did this article. There's one quote I really like about it, which was...
Troy Baker's awesome. I'm really excited. That's one of the... Other than the fact that it's an infamous game, Troy Baker voicing Delson Rowe. Is a big hook, line, and sinker. And then Metal Gear Solid, Phantom Pain.
Oh, yeah?
I'm personally not a huge Metal Gear Solid fan.
Yeah, me neither. But
Kiefer Sutherland and Troy Baker doing voice work in the same game, I'm going to have to buy it. Yeah. So.
Just for the voice work alone, that's ridiculous.
And when you play Metal Gear games, because I played through Guns of Patriots, when you play through a Metal Gear game, you spend a lot of time in cutscenes, so... You get to just watch Kiefer Sutherland and Troy Baker.
Yeah. But this quote, or I'm just going to read from this paragraph. It's so I don't get like sued. Not that they're going to come after me, but it's we'll by see. Keith Staskiewicz. Staskiewicz?
I don't know.
That's a cool.
I can't pronounce
Staskiewicz. Anyway, it's his article, and it says, an avid gamer himself, Baker confesses to having little interest in acting outside the medium. And in quotes, I know I can do TV and film. I know I can go on a set in front of 4 or 5 cameras with the hair and the makeup and the props and deliver a performance there. My challenge to someone who has only done that is, can you set foot on my stage? Here's your wardrobe, a spandex suit with motion capture disco balls all over it. You have a camera 6 inches from your face, and you're pantomiming everything. Go. Which I thought was a great thing, because you look at the guy, he's got a face for TV and film.
Oh, yeah.
But
so does Courtney Draper.
Yeah. She's beautiful.
Also Bioshock Infinite. Elizabeth.
But it is nice to see that he's not using this as a stepping. You see a lot of TV actors who clearly
like Kiefer Sutherland, obviously, is coming back into. Mm-hmm. And Ned Luke has done other acting. He was Michael in GTA 5.
Which that's a ridiculously hard transition to go from TV to film. A lot of people don't realize how hard. Like, you look at John Krasinski?
From The Office?
Yeah, from The Office. Jim from The Office.
Yeah.
And he's known to everyone as Jim from The Office.
Yeah, every time I hear the insurance commercials, I'm like, look, it's Jim.
Yeah. So, I'm hoping, like, that's one of the guys who I really hope gets that stardom that he deserves. Also, Zach Levi from Chuck. There's all sorts of TV stars that we all love that we would love to watch make the jump from TV to film, like Clooney did. You know, Clooney was originally on TV, jumped to film, now he's the biggest thing. That dude produces everything. He has his name attached to so many different things. It's crazy. Like, every year, for the past 5 years, the Oscars, it's been like, produced by George Clooney, or George Clooney starred in, or George Clooney helped write, or something like that. Like, dude's got his hands full. And he was nailing Stacy Keibler. But, yeah, it's George Clooney. Awesome guy. But it is nice to see that Troy Baker's
awesome.
And like his medium, he realizes.
I would love to meet Troy Baker, shake his hand.
Yeah, but he realizes that video games are his medium, and he doesn't need to try to just use this.
He's happy, like Nolan North. Nolan North loves doing Nathan Drake, and like that was really funny when playing through Golden Abyss, because you don't see Elena, you don't see Chloe. There's these new characters, Dante and and then there's another female character. The game is, until Sully shows up, it's nothing.
yeah.
And then Sully shows up and he just outdoes everybody. And Nathan Drake, obviously, Nolan North still does great. Nolan North was good in The Last of Us too as what was that character's name?
Oh gosh, this is gonna kill me. I've got it with the power of Google.
I'm already there. Because I already have Troy Baker up here.
David.
Oh, that's right, David, yeah. Because he was in that, but he did really good. And then I was reading a thing, and there was an interview that was done with him. Well, we'll cover more of this in, The Last of Us episode thing that we're gonna do.
Yeah, it's more of it's sort of a mini episode, like
mini
extension.
Spoiler cast type.
Yeah, deal. It's more of an extension of this podcast. So it'll be this kind of format with video, so that we can actually.
We want to give it a shot, test it out.
You can see our beautiful faces.
Talk about the beauty that is The Last of Us, with a 9.8 out of 10 on IMDb.
Oh wow! Yeah, a great game. We've said it multiple times on this podcast. House of Cards Season 2, February 14th. No. Is that Valentine's Day? Anyway, on Valentine's Day.
And, yeah. The Last of Us and Jericho are both have somebody in common. Ashley Scott.
What'd she do?
She was a main character in Jericho.
Oh, yeah?
And then she was Tess.
Wasn't that his brother's wife or whatever?
No, not Tess.
Okay,
not Tess Maria. That was his Tommy's wife. Yeah, it was Maria. Tess was the chick from 24, Renee.
I never saw 24.
You didn't watch 24?
No.
Yeah.
It's on Netflix, though.
Yeah, it's really good. It's fantastic.
I'll watch 24 and watch Sherlock.
Good. Okay. Stephen Trade.
Yeah. Both great shows. So I've heard. Oh, there was one thing I was going to talk about. Oh, The Last of Us as... I don't know if I talked... Did I talk about this last time? The Last of Us as a movie? What I think they should go with it? I don't think I did. I think The Last of Us would work so much better as... Sorry, my finger disappeared in that post. I'm looking at my finger in the reflection of that glass, and I was holding it up, but there were only 3 fingers, and I sort of panicked. And then I realized the thumb and the pinky were down here. I was literally like, oh my god, where's my fingers? But sorry about that. But The Last of Us, I think it would work best as a miniseries, like something like Band of Brothers, you know, because it's a 15-hour game, right? And you
it depends how you play it.
And you can extend, because I don't think you could fit The Last of Us story in a 2.5-hour movie at all. No chance. So I think as a miniseries, you know, you could start off.
Well, they're gonna make more. They're gonna make a sequel of The Last of Us. So.
But like even then, you could do like season 1, which should be The Last of Us 1. Wait until The Last of Us 2 comes out. Develop season 2. Season 2, the long-awaited return or whatever. Which that would be hard because if you had someone like cast as Ellie, they would grow up. But then you could always recast. I don't mind recasting. Unless you do Ellen Page. That would be awesome. Everyone wants Ellen Page as Ellie.
I really want to play Beyond Two Souls.
Yeah, I actually do want to check that out. But
PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, but that's why I'm going to steal your PlayStation.
Or you could just wait. PlayStation Now. That's supposed to be one of the launch titles with The Last of Us and God of War Ascension.
Really? Mm-hmm. Nice. But with the miniseries, I had it all planned out because I was going through each aspect of the story and how that would. And it would work so well in an episodic tale, you know.
Yeah.
And you would do it like something like put it on Netflix, like maybe Netflix could produce it, you know, and it would be specifically for Netflix for those binge watchers, you know. Because that would just work so well as a miniseries. The first, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but the first like episode.
Oh, we'll spoil it in the future. You guys can watch that.
Yeah, I'll talk about this next. Why am I giving this all away now?
It's gonna be a tell-all event.
I'm actually gonna write down next before we do that video.
I've been waiting to do this just because there's so much I want to talk about with The Last of Us, and I don't have anybody to talk to about it because I don't want to spoil it for people because I know a lot of people haven't played it, and but we'll spoil it to the internet.
That's right. And we'll make sure we put in big bold letters.
Spoilers.
Yeah.
And we will let you know before the video starts. We will remind you. And then whenever Ben plays through BioShock, we'll have a similar BioShock Infinite discussion. Because that ending can be very confusing. So.
Yeah. And I also think that would be good to do discussions like that with the video format on movies as well. Yeah. Because, you know, movies, that's sort of my medium. Like, as much as I do love video games, as much as I respect video games as an art form.
Oh, video games are mine. That's
you're the video game guy. I'm the movie guy. Bam. That's a fail-proof team right there.
We got a tag team here.
That's right. Does a high five on the mic, if you're wondering. What was that?
Who's there?
Where are the drugs going?
Donde están los drugs?
Pete Holmes, funny guy.
I love those videos.
Yeah, I watched one episode of a show, like, on TV, like, live.
I didn't.
I realized the entire thing is on YouTube. Like, you don't have to watch.
Yeah, because you can just watch the. I love those X-Men. Those X-Men ones.
Great.
I'm gonna run at them.
But like with Key and Peele, what's that made of? Tubes
and glass.
But there was the thing about, like, if you look at Key and Peele, which is something that is a comedy sketch show.
I watched that live because there's extra sketches.
Yeah. See, because that's the thing. That's a comedy sketch show, and they pulled a lot of that back from YouTube because they used to put like everything on YouTube.
Oh yeah, but they're smart because then they get you to watch your show.
Which I think the future is really being funded. That would be awesome. Just like they could make it an internet show, no problem.
I like it on Comedy Central. Watching
that's
every once in a while.
But like I'm just saying, like,
I love Key and Peele.
Yeah, but if it got canceled, like, no doubt it could.
They could just easily go to YouTube and do their own thing. People watch it.
People would pay for it. I mean, I would pay for it, and there would be like maybe not like.
I wish I were high on pot news. I said that.
But like, because you look at Netflix, what they're doing right now, and it's smart because they're picking up a lot of shows that got canceled. You know, they're like, oh, here's a show that got canceled. Well, you know what? We'll get the rights to it. Maybe
Arrested Development, right?
Yeah, and there was one other show that I feel like they just picked up recently, and
Get Netflix to make a Call of Duty miniseries. Just shoot myself in the head.
Where was it?
Anybody out there who dislikes me is probably like, oh, now we know what we can get him to do.
It was Jericho. That's what it was. Jericho. Hold on, let me read this.
Wait, what are you talking about?
Well, Jericho creator confirms negotiations for Netflix revival. So
that would be
things,
fantastic.
Yeah, and
see some more Skeet.
But
Skeet Ulrich.
There's a lot of things where, like, a lot of people were talking about this with Firefly. I remember on April Fool's Day, there was like a picture, and it was on Netflix. You know,
I love it. The best thing for April Fool's was the Pineapple Express 2 trailer from the last. This
is the end.
This is the end. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. But for not 4th of July, April Fool's Day, they had. You know how on Netflix it'll say like new episode, and you always get excited when you see like you're like, oh yes, I've been waiting for the new episodes to drop on that show. Well, they had put that on Firefly, new episodes, because that has a huge cult following.
Oh yeah, and Jericho has a big following too.
But it was one of those things that was so mean but so funny.
Yeah. If they did something like that for Jericho, I don't know what I'd do. I'd be very upset.
Mm-hmm.
I love Hawkins. Hawkins is my favorite character in that, other than of course Jake Green. But
I'll get back to you on that. This picture reminds me of Lone Survivor, which I saw.
I haven't seen
with
that
Mark Wahlberg. Oh my god, it was. It was wildly realistic.
Was it?
And
I don't go home, you don't go home. That's all I remember from the commercial.
But Ben Foster did such a great job as oh man, this is bad. This is bad. I'm forgetting a hero's name. Oh no, Matt Axelson. That's what it was. Because they kept calling him Axe, and I was trying to think of his full name, Matthew Axelson, and they called him Axe because, of course, it's badass. In real life, that's what they called him. But they gave him the coolest lines. Like there was the line that you see in the trailer where he's like, "You could die for your country. I'm going to live for mine." And it was like, bam, badass. And then there was one where he's like citing in like some Taliban guy, and he's like, "I am the Reaper." Bang! It just blows the guy away.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a great movie, and it was.
Oh, I need to see it. Yeah, I really want to see it.
Yeah, it got like the Critics' Choice Award.
Muhammad Ali's birthday. Did you know?
Yeah,
that?
I knew. I was 72.
And Jim Carrey's birthday.
I didn't know he was still alive.
Jim Carrey's birthday too.
Yeah, I looked at.
And Betty White.
A bunch of birthdays there.
I didn't know that.
What was I talking about?
All these. Kid Rock.
Let's talk about Lone Survivor. Hold on, Lone Survivor. So the Critics' Choice Awards had Mark Wahlberg. Mark Wall Cyborg. Mark Wall Cyborg. But he won the Critics' Choice Award for Best Actor in an Action Film, which to me, The Lone Survivor, while it did have incredible action sequences, I saw it more as a drama than an action movie because it was sad. I cried. Ben Foster did a fantastic job because it's a true story,
Yeah.
And I had seen the HBO First Look thing where it interviews like the parents as well. Oh, it's heartbreaking.
Oh yeah,
seeing these parents who were talking about, my son took like Danny Dietz's father, who was played by Emil Hirsch in the movie. There was a whole story about how he talked to Peter Berg, the director, and said, like, handed him the autopsy report for his son and said, my son was shot this many times. Like, it was like 3 times in the neck, twice in the head, once in the thigh, once in the calf. These guys got shot up like no other, and they kept fighting. And there were tears running down this guy's face, and he said, "You make sure you get that right." So it's one of those things where it was, and Peter Berg, he was just coming off of Battleship, the movie based on the board game. That's what he was coming off of. So I remember going like, oh my god, they got Peter Berg to do this. And Peter Berg, he's done some good movies, but it was just like, man, how is he going to come back from Battleship? But he did do a great job.
Yeah.
And the cinematography in it was excellent. I think it should have been nominated for an Oscar, but, the Academy Awards, no one takes them all that seriously anymore because there's so many,
I sure don't take the VGX seriously.
But it's so pretentious and stuff. And with Secret Life of Walter Mitty, that was a beautiful movie. Not the greatest movie. It had its laughs and it had its, it's more of a dramatic movie. But that was directed by Ben Stiller. It was a beautiful movie. I think it was one of the most beautiful movies I've ever seen. The locations, everything. And
didn't get best cinematography. And then the one thing that didn't get nominated that pissed me off the most, and it's a little thing.
Here we go.
Best hair and makeup. The Hobbit 2 was not nominated. Not even nominated. Last year, I was pissed that they didn't win best hair and makeup. Because, when you watch the behind the scenes and you see, it takes 4 hours to get all that stuff on, and then they have to walk around in it, and it's 100 degrees inside their, prosthetics, and they use real hair and all that, and how much time it makes to create these things. And last year, Les Mis won. Because you shaved Anne Hathaway's head and threw some dirt on her. Like, I could do that. I want to do the makeup for that movie just to show them I can make Anne Hathaway look dirty. Whereas The Hobbit, they actually spent all this time. Maybe it's just me being a nerd. I don't know. But
probably.
But it was one of those things that pissed me off so badly. And so this year, I was like, now The Hobbit's going to get it. But maybe it's just because the Lord of the Rings trilogy won so many Academy Awards that they're like,
it's okay, I really hope Leo finally gets his best actor.
That's what I talked about when you went on
because,
the phone.
Yeah. Just because he's been so many movies. He deserves it.
Yeah, one of my favorite performances that often gets looked over when people talk about Leo's best performances is Aviator, a Martin Scorsese movie. And have you ever seen that movie? It is fantastic.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
And Blood Diamond, one of my favorite movies. A lot of people didn't like it all that much, but it was great. I liked it. Leo, he can do it all. Man can do it all.
This is one hell of a list.
What are you looking at?
There's on IMDb, I was looking at games, and some user created the best PS3 games in 1, 2, and 3. Uncharted Drake's Fortune, Uncharted 2, and Uncharted 3. The PlayStation All-Stars, God of War 2, God of War 3, God of War Ascension, The Last of Us. Let's see what else. Oh, then he goes Assassin's Creed 1, Assassin's Creed 2, Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
He could have gotten a little more creative with that list.
Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas, Grand Theft Auto 4, Grand Theft Auto 5.
Oh my.
Bioshock 1, Bioshock 2, Bioshock Infinite. Ratchet and Clank.
Martin Scorsese did a sort of an obituary type thing for Roger Ebert in this Entertainment Weekly. But
why are you standing?
Because these chairs get uncomfortable after a while. I'm sorry. They're old chairs that I actually painted these chairs. They used to be green.
So I'm leaning against the wall.
They used to be green. Yeah, but I'm just
kind of black now.
Yeah. You know when you're sitting for too long and your ass gets all sweaty? That's what's happening.
We're about done here.
Sorry, people. But one of the things I was going to talk about, with movie critics, they piss me off a lot. Because I think there should be a separate category. Like, there should be, okay, you're a movie critic for action movies. You're a movie critic for dramas. And the most important, you're a movie critic for comedy movies. Because a movie like Superbad got horrible reviews.
That movie was hilarious.
That was one of the funniest movies that might be the funniest movie.
What about Pineapple Express? I don't know what kind of reviews they got. I love that movie.
I do love that movie. And, so Rotten Tomatoes, I hate just because...
I stick with IMDb because it's actual people rated.
Yeah. Whereas, plus I don't like the fact that,
it has 7.1 on IMDb.
Yeah.
It has a 64 Meta score. Doesn't seem very good. I love Pineapple Express.
Pineapple Express is fantastic.
Seth Rogen, James Franco, Danny McBride, Craig Robinson. You can't go wrong with that cast.
That is such funny. And James Franco, that's one of the best performances by James Franco. I know he does a lot of artsy stuff, and he was great in 127 Hours.
Oh, yeah.
But him as Saul was just he was the perfect stoner. Ooh, the third season okay, here we go. Third season of Sherlock premieres in the U.S. this weekend. Thank God. Because I gotta see it. Gots to see it. Benedict Cumberbatch, he is the man. Sherlock, Season 3. Ugh. We're trying to get our gaming room set up. Once that gets set up,
well, we can start doing live streams and various other gameplay adventures.
Mm-hmm.
You get to see me and Ben suck at various video games.
Yeah, I still think it'd be fun to watch or play old games,
like PS2 and stuff. Yeah. Which isn't hard. You can just those are very easy to get on. You can even emulate those and get them on PC.
Yeah.
If you don't own them, or we can just buy them on eBay.
Yeah, because they're super cheap on eBay. Yeah. So if you guys want,
well, it depends on the game how nostalgic it is. But
if you guys want to see us play any like older games, let us know in the comments or on Twitter or anything like that, and we'll pick them up because it will be a lot of fun to go back and play old games. And
I know I want to play some more Star Wars Battlefront.
Yeah, one of my favorite games of all time, The Warriors on the original Xbox. You got to play that because it's got a great 2-player aspect, which is something that a lot of new games have like completely lost. Almost every game, like co-op modes where you can be next to each other. It's all like online stuff. You know what I'm talking about?
That's how Spelunky is. Spelunky is only local co-op. You haven't played Spelunky yet? Okay, we got to play that on Vita.
But do you remember how?
Spelunky's fantastic. You should definitely buy it. It's actually on sale right now. If anybody out there has a PS3 or a PS Vita, go pick it up. I think it's $375 or $275 for if you have PlayStation Plus. There's some killer sales this week. BioShock Infinite went free on PlayStation Plus. PlayStation gives you the best values. Killzone Mercenaries is $9 for PlayStation Plus members. Crysis 3 is $5 for PlayStation Plus members.
Nice.
So, everybody, go pick it up. Yeah. And if you haven't played Telltale Walking Dead and you have a Vita, $5
for the entire season 1
with 400 days.
Oh, I'm so jealous because I've won season 1, episode 1.
I've played through season 1. This will be my 3rd time through it because I was really excited. I was like, yeah, another platinum, an easy platinum.
But like I was saying, Call of Duty World at War.
Oh, I love World at War.
Do you remember the co-op campaign you could play?
Oh, it was fantastic. The best, my favorite mission was the sniper one, where you had to. I spent so much time getting that achievement, where you had to take out all those people at the beginning of the level without reloading.
Oh,
so you'd have to wait for the dog's head to line up with the dude, and then you'd have to fire, and you'd get both of them, and then the 2 guys would run at you, and you'd have to take them out individually. And then that was so much fun. Yeah,
the co-op. I think more games should go in with this co-op campaign.
Co-op's kind of died with multiplayer being as rampant as it is. Everything like Titanfall's only multiplayer, Destiny's only multiplayer.
Which that's one of the things that's sort of like.
That's why I haven't bought an Xbox One. The main reason I was going to buy one was Titanfall.
And me, I love a good story experience, and even
like The Last of Us. And
Uncharted. I just like single player mainly because I suck so badly at multiplayer. And it does get annoying having to play with some
little 5-year-old kids.
Suck my dick.
Yeah, just shut your mouth.
And if only there was a community where it was like, okay, put in your actual age. Now here we're gonna put you with people,
or put you in a real pool.
Yeah, with people who are as mature as you, or they need like an immature room, just because on every online
like they have the dunce pool and GTA 5 Online.
So it's just one of those things where it is very tiring playing with, just immature people or people who don't do anything but shit talk you.
The Blackhawks won.
Yeah.
4-2. Marion Host had 2 goals.
Oh yeah. They were playing the Ducks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, go Blackhawks.
Like my hockey. Panthers fan, although the Panthers suck.
I'm an Oilers fan. That Ryan Nugent-Hopkins kid can play.
Panthers suck.
Hockey players, they recruit them so freaking young, man.
Yeah.
They're like,
same with baseball.
Yeah.
Especially Moneyball.
Wayne Gretzky's son plays.
That's because his last name is Gretzky.
Yeah. He can play anything he wants.
It's like if Peyton Manning as a kid, he could be retarded, and we'd like for you to come play quarterback.
Yeah. Just that nostalgia. You see that a lot, like the Jersey Devils goalie.
Oh, my Super Bowl prediction! Get this out here.
Oh, okay.
Seattle-Denver. Seattle with the win.
Seattle-Denver.
Go Seahawks. I'm not a Seahawks fan. I'm a die by my Baltimore Ravens, but we had a tough year this year. So.
Yeah.
But I'm picking the Seahawks this year. That Russell Wilson kid can play. And Marshawn Lynch is a beast. So. You don't watch football.
I don't, but
You have no clue what I'm talking about.
No, I sort of just zoned out there. But I've heard of Marshawn Lynch.
Everybody's heard of Beast Mode. And they've got a killer defense in Seattle. Earl Thomas is my favorite non-Raven player because he went to the University of Texas. Hook him.
But yeah, that's what it was. Marty Brodeur. He signed his son,
Anthony,
who's also a goalie.
Who's that one kid for the Islanders? That's really good.
Oh, I don't keep up with the Islanders all that much.
I don't either.
I wish the Oilers were doing well, but you know.
I wish the Panthers didn't completely suck.
But you know what? That's hockey. And the thing that's nice about hockey is that any game could go either way. You know, it's one of those sports where, like basketball, you have like Heat versus Bobcats. Those are the only, like, I don't know a lot of teams.
I'm a Thunder fan.
I know Heat is
Kevin
a big
Durant.
team, and Bobcats are a very low team. So, like, that's like, okay, we know who's going to win. But with hockey, there's a very good chance that either team can win, which is very even. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, when I watch hockey, honestly, like I like the Panthers. I'll cheer for the Panthers, but also I like Ovechkin.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of other.
Yeah, see, I cheer for... So the Oilers are my team, and then I have players. You know, like, I love Ovechkin. I love Sidney Crosby.
Yeah.
You know, and, like, doesn't mean I love the Penguins, though the Penguins are great. But when there are games like, oh, it's the Penguins versus the Ducks, well, then I'm going to root for the Penguins.
John Tavares.
Oh, yeah.
He's good.
You've heard a lot about that kid.
He's damn good. He's a captain on one of the Olympic teams, I believe, for
I think so.
Canada, I want to say, because he's Canadian.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty sure anybody that's good is Canadian. This whole Islanders roster is Canadian. We got somebody from Denmark, somebody from Austria.
Man, the Oilers. I wish the Oilers did good. Did well, sorry.
Well, I like hockey. Hockey's my backup. Because baseball's out of
Hockey's
season.
the only sport I can watch.
And when the Ravens suck.
I don't understand the rules of football. Soccer.
That's because you're dumb, man.
I am completely confused.
Soccer, yeah.
And
soccer.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of soccer, and I'm so confused. Baseball. Baseball's boring to me.
I love baseball.
I'm sorry if you like baseball.
I don't really watch it on TV much, but
yeah, to me it's
I love the Rangers.
Like
my team, Texas.
Buddy of mine, Caleb Sampson, his dad used to be a professional baseball player.
They said killed something, and I was like, what?
But he watches baseball all the time, and I could never see how he does it. Because to me, baseball is just so dull. Yeah, like unless they hit home runs, I don't want to watch it. I don't know. I guess it would make more sense if you actually knew what was going on if you played the sport, you know? Me, I have no idea what's going on. Like,
I played
wait
a lot
a
of
second.
football until I tore my ACL.
That guy's running when... Like, I remember...
I didn't tear my ACL, but...
Did you?
You know
yeah, but you messed your leg up.
Yeah.
Pretty bad. I was there in the hospital holding your hand, going in and out of consciousness. But I remember, so like, you know when like the batter swings and he like misses it, but the catcher doesn't catch it, and the batter can run? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
That's the weirdest thing to me. I remember seeing that and I was like, why is that guy running?
It's only on strike 3.
Yeah, but it's like, to me, that's, what a weird rule. Baseball is a complex sport.
Everything's complex
yeah,
nowadays.
There's so many rules for every sport. Like, hockey's the same way. There's still things in hockey that I don't understand. Where I'm like, wait, what? What was that penalty about? But, yeah, and the other thing about hockey is that's one of those sports where, you know, you look away and they score. Like, it's like watching, you know, UFC or any other kind of MMA. You look away and a guy gets knocked out. I remember at that Anderson Silva fight, the Miami Heat game was on right next to it, and I was looking at the Heat game just because everyone was cheering at that because someone hit like a 3-pointer at the very end or something.
LeBron James!
Yes! And then it cut back to, the Anderson fight, the Silva fight was over, and I was like, wait, what? And then luckily they showed well, maybe not luckily, because that was the most messed up replay. Anderson Silva's leg just... Oh, man.
Well, we spent a lot of time on video games this episode. Mm-hmm. Please make sure you go tune into The Last of Us conversation, I guess you could call it, that we're going to have pretty soon here. We're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. This one's been a nice, long episode.
Mm-hmm.
But be sure to follow us on Twitter. I'm at MatrixShoot49.
I am at Captain Ben G.
The show is at GameChat Ben Matt. Tweet at any of those 3 things with questions or anything. Email GameChatBenMatt@gmail.com.
That's right.
With any comments, concerns. Also, you can also leave those down below. Just scroll on down, leave us a comment, click that big old subscribe button.
What's our YouTube channel?
The Digital Spectrum.
The Digital Spectrum.
With that beautiful cat picture.
That's right. There's a
with
cat.
The flowers.
Look at the cat with the flowers.
And then think, wow, we like these people. So thanks for listening. Be sure to keep it locked here. Have a wonderful day.